So is fighting still your first love, or where are you at on that?
That's the magic question.
Well, life has nearly killed me, and my mind has put me on the edge.
It was cool being out at the SIG deal and sitting around the campfire with the professional snowboarder, the professional shooter, the Navy SEALs, and all the different guys. And at the end of the route, end of the day, we're all like, man, we have the same issue and the same problem. Like Dan getting ready for another world championship shooting, and he was talking to me like, hey man, what do you do when you lose your fire, and how do you get it back? And I was like, man, cool, you have those same problems also? You have those same, we all, you know what I mean? All of us were sitting there talking like it was just amazing to see how across the board we all fight for the same like feeling and strives and everything, trying to get the feelings we have when we're performing our best.
Very high. Well, my cup is nearly empty.
And I think that's when people talk about having their fire and getting the fire back, is like the feeling you had when you didn't have any of it. Like Dan is a shooter, when he was looking up at that guy's the best, and I'm the guy in the corner like, oh man, I hope I do good. Finding that feeling again, which is cool. Like I remember 12 years ago when I was first fight of the night in the UFC. Like, man, one day I'm gonna be the main event. One day I'm gonna be that guy. So finding your fire, that's the ultimate chase, is to find the kid that you were when you first came in, when you were hungry. Like, hungry, I want everything that all these guys have. But we were also sitting there around the campfire saying, well, it's hard to be that guy when you look around at everything you have. And you're like, I don't have to be that guy anymore, so how can you still become that guy with everything you have? That's the balance. That's what they talk about, the fire and the hunger. Like, I have no idea how you do that, because you are trying to chase that guy, and there is somebody who is that guy right behind you. And that's the hard part, you know. This kid is that kid looking at you saying, I want all of that. And he's living it and feeling it, and you're trying to find how he's feeling that. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. It's really, really tough. They say it's hard to be hungry when you're full. And it's like a true statement. And I'm sure it's across the board. Like, I'm sure, you know, you talk to people like professional. Well, then you have like Tom Brady, who just keeps on winning Super Bowls, which is so cool. So what does he have? Maybe I need to sit down and talk to him. Like, hey man, what are you doing that keeps you hungry and you want an 8th, a 9th, a 10th Super Bowl ring? Like, what makes that happen? But all the guys around the fire at the SIG event were talking about the same thing. Like, man, I don't know. It's hard to. We can't seem to have the same stride and the same energy we used to have when we first started.
This valley is much too deep, and this mountain so very high. I gotta lay down here and rest where I can.
What was the moment that made you fall in love with whatever sport or job or activity you were doing? That finding that energy in that moment, that's the key to success, I think.
So when did you feel like you fell in love with fighting?
Oh, the first day I walked into the kickboxing gym. I was like, yes, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do.
When you walked through the door and you saw everybody working, or what?
Yeah,
was
my first practice. And me and Mikey went in there and I put the gloves on and we went and sparred. I was like, oh yes, this is it. Like I said, I took a fight 2 weeks later with zero training and fell in love with it. That was it. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever done.
And that was the first fight. That was in New York?
New York, yeah.
And it was, for lack of a better term, grunge, right? I mean, like you were fighting in a church.
Fighting in a church, yeah. It was...
wrapping your friend up, him wrapping you up, you cornering for him cornering for you.
Right, yeah. He cornered me, I cornered him. It was fun, man. It was awesome. And I don't know. Those were the days, right? That was fun. It was cool. I was chasing the bigger picture. You know, like I didn't even know what the bigger picture was at the time. I was just so in the moment of living I get to go to New York. I get to go to Japan. Right? I get to go to Miami and like all these different places I went around the world and kickboxed. It was just so cool every time. And I loved it. When we go to Thailand to train, I still want to make a trip out there to have some fun and go do it, you know.
What would you do out in Thailand?
I would train. Oh, for sure. You mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go out there and train. I'd go scuba diving. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'd like to take the whole team out there and just all my coaches and everybody and like just let you guys see the villages and the lifestyle. It's cool. It's a lot of fun.
So it's safe to say that your first love at that time in New York was kickboxing. That was it.
Yeah, at that time, like MMA wasn't even like a thing yet. So like it was just barely getting going. I mean, I remember UFC 1 and 2 happening in Denver, Colorado. That's like where it started. So I was like, I seen it. I was like, what is this? UFC? Like, what the hell? And so it wasn't like blowing up like it is now. It was just, so kickboxing for me, yeah, I had no idea what MMA was. I just knew kickboxing, so it was sick.
You have a bunch of belts in that bin and shit like that, but like, how many fights did you have kickboxing and everything? What was that career like? Because that was a whole other career before your career.
Yeah, I went 28-0 as a professional kickboxer with 18 first-round knockouts, and I don't know, I loved it. It was so fun. It was crazy fun.
So is fighting still your first love, or where are you at on that?
That's the magic question. That's why I'm taking the rest of the summer off, just to see where I am with that, man. I don't know. It's a hard question. Like, yeah, I love it. I haven't been eager to get in the gym and train or work out, so kind of wait until I get that itch again. I'm not gonna push it.
If there was another love to take over, would you feel guilty about that?
No.
No? It would just be what it is?
Yeah. And I'd probably be so excited about the new love that I'd forget about the old love. And I'd just move on. Like changing chapter in life. Like sometimes you just grow out of something, grow apart and away from something. So it's just time. And I found when you go against the grain, that's when it's the worst. So if I ever found something else, I'd walk away.
Do you think racing might be that? 'Cause you get fired up for that.
Yeah, I love the racing. I just wish I could make a career in it. So, who knows?
But you wish that for kickboxing. You wish that for MMA. You wish that for like other shit too. And then you did it.
True story.
So it's not like you can't do it again.
Right.
Like you know what it takes to be a fucking champion.
Yeah. Yeah.